Hello, this is wmpyr here with a video that's a little bit different than normal. First of all, if you've been wondering why I haven't made any stick fighting tutorial videos, well, you know, this is part of the reason right here. I'm still right smack in the middle of the move, and I got all these cardboard boxes behind me, but you know, oh well. That's going to take some time for me to remove, so that's going to be there for a while, and I'm just going to have to work with what I got. You know, that's life, right? Anyway, for today's video, I was asked to showcase some of the self-defense keychains from Nuko Tools. So this is made by Norman. He's a great guy. You could find him on, he's pretty active on Instagram. And I know he likes to do stuff on Facebook, so just look up Nuko Tools on Facebook and Instagram, and you know, you'll be able to see him at his work and doing some cool stuff. So anyway, let's start this bad boy off. And okay, the idea here is that you could get this, which is his punch ring. Let's see, can you guys see that? You get his punch ring and attach it to, you know, your keys like so. And the idea is you put them on here, and once you do that, you know, you're gonna have something for self-defense in your hand. You know, so when you just, anytime you need to open the door, go to the car, whatever, you already have it right here. You don't have to go to your pocket. You don't have to, you know, go to you know, your purse or your bag or anything like that. I mean, it's going to be right here in your hand. So, you know, that's the idea. And to me, that's brilliant. That works out well. And the idea here was that you could also attach this to a folding knife or even a regular knife that has, as long as it has a lanyard hold in it. If it has a lanyard hold, then you attach it via key ring. Okay, so this is the Delica. And then you could make an improvised karambit, right? So that's the idea here. And once you do that, you know, you could flip it and blah, 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 blah. I've already shown video doing that. I don't want you guys to copy me and get hurt, so I'm not going to do it here. Actually, what I'm going to do instead, and I don't want to disappoint you guys, put it on the keys like this, okay? So this is technically the same thing. Just imagine this is a knife right here, all right? So the idea here is once you do this, okay, and you could use karambit style techniques here, okay, so I could still stab, and if this was a blade, I could cut. These are the keys. So as you can see, I can't really cut with this, but I still can stab, and I could still scrape in either direction. So, you know, it's almost like a mini karambit type quality there, but the idea here is right here, because of the punch ring, I can punch this way. Okay, see that? I could actually punch this way. And if you get, let's say, a Spyderco like this, and you could put on a key ring on here and make it into an improvised karambit. But when you do, the ring is gonna be, if you guys can see what the way the lanyard hole is, the ring is gonna be sideways like this, so that it's not true to our karambit. In order to bypass that, you're going to have two rings to make the ring go in the right direction as an actual karambit. And you know, the other thing is, even if you do attach a ring like that, you're not going to have the capability to do damage with the ring itself, you know, because it's just going to be like a key ring like that, and that's it. So, you know, with this now, the ring is in the actual correct direction, as well as now you could strike with it. So that's why it, you know, that was the point that I was making when I made the video before. And yeah, so anyway, this one is the G10 punch ring. And so I also have the carbide ring, which is a little heavier. You know, I think they both work really well. You know, first impressions for me, carbide is just it was way cooler because it's actually metal than the G10 version. But the G10 version has held up very well, and then also because of the way the edge is put on this thing, I was able to go through and stab a pumpkin, which I have on one of my videos. It just stabbed and it stuck really nicely. All right, so let's move on to, I'm kind of a mess here in this video, but let's go on to this guy right here, okay? The person asked me, like, do I have any trouble when flipping this? And I'm gonna treat the keys as a blade, okay? Just imagine it's a knife right here. And doing this, so I could still, you know, stab right here technically with the keys, and then maybe scrape a little bit. But do I have any problem with the teeth on the knuckle head? Because it basically forms a very cool looking abstract skull. That's pretty much the Nuko Tool logo right there. I don't have any problems at all with that when flipping with this. I like the teeth. In fact, I want the teeth to be more, even more exaggerated. Like if it's a little bit sharper or, you know, more jagged, that would be cool for me. So I don't have any problems with the teeth at all. And like I said, I would like it even more exaggerated, but then it's going to look even more like a weapon. So, you know, I think Nuko did the Nuko Tools idea. Norman did a great job, you know, so I got nothing to say right here. So anyway, flipping wise, boom, like so, not a problem at all. I don't feel anything scraping, you know, nothing at all. Boom. And yeah, works out good for me, and nothing is red. So yeah, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Let's move on. So okay, real quick, the idea of when you actually put this on right here, I just went with a real thick, this is nice and sturdy, but if you put a key ring like this, which is, you know, much larger, sturdier, heavier, and you put your knife on here, okay, there's going to be a big old gap right where the ring is. That's too big of a gap, okay? So you're going to be like this. So basically I'm only holding the very bottom part of the knife, and that's no good there, you know? So what I want to do instead is I want to get something like this. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. And I want to get something like that part right there. This, where I use pliers to close, okay? And attach that onto it. And that way, the distance between the Nuko punch ring and the blade is going to be much smaller. Much smaller. So that way, the closer, the better. It's more like, it's almost like it's fused. And then that way it acts more like a karambit. When it's really far apart like this, you know, then this flexible area, you're going to be grabbing onto part of that, you know, and the larger that is, the more flexible area you're grabbing onto and less knife. So that's something to think about. Now the other question that came up, I think, was this. This is the Nuko Fat Boy. And I actually tried it. So here I put some keys and I put my homemade Yawara stick on there. And using it like this, I actually have no problem with this. Boom, boom, boom. I can flip it, no problem. Strike, you know, slash, you know, all the regular karambit type moves. Not a problem at all. So actually, I don't have a problem with the Fat Boy either. And okay, so if you want to practice this kind of stuff, please do what I did. Just use your keys, okay? Just use your keys. If you don't have any of these Nuko Tools type stuff, then just use your regular keys, okay? And make sure that the ring is fat enough. I mean, not fat enough, large enough. Sorry, still stuck in the Fat Boy mentality there. So just make sure that the key ring is large enough that your finger can go through comfortably. And then from here, practice the flail, okay? And practice your stabs right here, slash, 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 slash. And all this stuff, of course, comes from the sticks, right? So I recommend start with the sticks anyway. Start with the Screamer sticks and then come to training knife. You want to use a karambit training knife. This one right here was generously made by Mountain Storm for me. I actually designed the shape, and this is my training karambit. Even though it's a training karambit, this is actually still pretty freaking sharp. This is designed half for training, half for self-defense. So it's not a true training knife, because you could really still do some damage with this guy, and technically you could damage yourself as well. Like, I mean, if this hits you in the eye, it could be really, really bad because it is quite pointy. But my point is, go with the Eskrima sticks, then go to a karambit training knife, and then go to something like this. Okay, so don't go immediately to blade. And then this way you can practice, you know, much more safely. You can practice, you know, all these Eskrima type techniques here, and the concepts all come from that. And the idea, the basic idea when using a karambit in the extended grip, using it like a flexible weapon like this, the basic idea is that you want as much as possible to keep your grip closed at all times. Now there's some times where you have to open it up, you know, and when you do, you want to try to keep it as tight as possible. Okay, so there's sometimes where you're just gonna be on one single finger. That's gonna happen, right? But when it does, you want to be tight, and you want to be quick about it and come immediately back to a full grip. So that's one basic idea. And the other thing is, this is technically, you know, when you are holding the karambit in the extended grip, it's half a flexible weapon now. So nunchuck training with the nunchucks can also help out. So those are my advice. And let me see, did I cover everything? Okay, here is the atomic cranial divot tool real quick. And yeah, this almost like if this was a little bit longer, I mean, you basically have a karambit shape, you know, if it was longer and curved out a little bit that way. I mean, yeah, you could flip and stuff like that. And this part right here, this is the bottle cap lifter. Genius. Oh, Norman, you're a genius for doing that. Very cool. Here you can see the logo of his the knuckle skull. Can you guys see that? Can you see that? Maybe, maybe not. And then this thing right here is the tactical butter knife, and it has kind of like a rainbow coloring right here. And then we also have handle scales, which is very nice. And I really like the screws that he utilized for the handle scales right here, that you know, they allow for you to put lanyard and stuff in there, so it has a hole it goes through. And then this is the rainbow colored, there's that rainbow colored right there. And then the knuckle head, once again, the logo is present on there as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. I think you guys can see that. And the cool thing about this, the tactical butter knife, is that it emphasizes this, the sawing motion, which, you know, a lot of guys, when you train with the knife, okay, and you're practicing knife combat, you do your slashes, of course you do your stabs and stuff, but I think a lot of times people forget the sawing motion right here. So make sure you include that in your practice. And I like it. I like the tactical butter knife because it really reminds you of that, the sawing motion. So anyway, I was all over the place in this video, but I hope I showed everything, at least, even if it's just for a few seconds. I hope I covered everything on the table here. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and take care, folks.